Now, hearing all this, especially with, the example I've given you of complimenting the girl on inside of the gym, you might still have another limiting belief, which is, but I still don't feel very confident. And this is where most guys get stuck. You're learning more and more, okay, praise is important, how to praise without being a simp, but you still don't feel like confident enough to like give more compliments out. And this is where I can give you one fast tip, which will literally not only help you give out compliments. I'm not exaggerating when I say that this tip will help you with 100% of your life. Can you think what it might be? This is an actionable step that you should do before you're about to go and approach a girl or compliment her, whether it's online, whether it's in person. And it's also an actionable step that you could do before you literally go and do anything in life. And it's to breathe fully. There is a chapter, before you get like weirded out by that and you just wanted me to give you like, okay, just say this, bro. Trust me when I say, I'm using, like, think about it, I'm this YouTuber, I'm using a part of my video, valuable time in the video, to give you this advice. I would only like say the things that I thought was gonna be valuable to you. I promise you that this is one of the most valuable tips I could genuinely ever give you. No matter what I learn in the future of my entire life, this is probably one of the most valuable tips I could ever give you. And it's to breathe fully, to unlock your diaphragm, your stomach when you breathe. You will get so much more present, happy, in a social flow, strong. You'll overcome a lot of that neurotic self-concern, the thinking that we have when we're just stuck in our brains. Because that's what happens to me quite often. And so when I first joined this gym again, like I had been in this gym, I've spoke about it a lot in previous videos, but then I left, I traveled around, I moved into different countries, I came back and I joined. And I kind of like, fell off my breathwork meditation practice, and I went in, and for a bunch of my first workouts, I was kind of that guy with his hood up, just kind of, just focused on my own thing and just being silent and, just doing my own thing. And honestly, I had quite like negative thoughts in my mind. And then I remembered the tip that I had learned from here, which we'll discuss. And I started to breathe fully, just literally for a few seconds before I'd walk into the gym. So I'm walking towards the gym, or usually I run to the gym. And I'm starting to implement this practice, which I'll literally walk you through the exact way to breathe. And by the time I'd walk into the gym, it was as if suddenly I was visible to everyone. Where before this, and I was wearing the same clothes, by the way, I still had the hood up and everything, right? So before this, I was kind of like, I felt kind of invisible to people. I was just like an NPC who's in the gym, who's also doing his workout. I promise, every single time I do a few deep breaths, suddenly it feels like there's almost a spotlight on me in the gym. And I'm not saying this out of ego. This is just simply a fact. Suddenly I'm so much more visible, because it's like the smallest part of your body language. Maybe your shoulders literally just do this. And just see my shoulder there. Just this little difference here. So you can go in, you've not been breathing right, you've been breathing shallowly, you've been sitting down with shit posture, you go into the gym like this. You breathe right for a few seconds, you kind of open up your body and you look like this, like that little bit of a difference. It's like that makes such a difference in people's brains, primal brains and nervous system, that suddenly they see, oh, happy, friendly, healthy, strong guy over there, and they actually look towards you. Girls smile, guys come over and talk, and literally the first and every time that I've just done a couple of breathing practices, but also like specifically kind of like opened up the front of my body, literally just by doing this. So like this is how we normally stand. Literally just do this, just push your gynecomastia out, like push your chest out, breathe fully, which I'll explain how to do that. Every single time I do it, I promise at least 3 or 4 people come and speak to me in the gym. Suddenly, it's like, okay, is it just a coincidence? It probably is a coincidence, but that more and more people who recognize me will come in on those days. That someone who I used to speak to in the gym a year ago, suddenly just, this is their first workout back, and they come straight towards me. We have like a conversation. Then another guy walks over, oh, Hamza, how many subscribers are you on now? Then his friend comes over. Then like the girl in the corners, like smiling towards me. Then a girl walks into like the part where I'm training, and she's actually like an old friend's sister. So I'm speaking to her. Like suddenly it's like I'm in this social flow speaking to like multiple people for the workout. It can be a bit of a distraction, I will admit. But it's kind of nice to feel like you're socially included in the places that you go to. It really is, and it really does destroy the anxiety, that anxious, negative thinking that you get about yourself or about other people. When you're speaking, when you're in the social flow, you don't get that, and you just have way more of a pleasant time. And sometimes, honestly, I have a better workout when that happens, because you just kind of feel like a stronger, like if you put yourself in that situation where literally 3 people come up, they recognize you, they speak to you, they say, oh, they're asking you questions, you ask them some questions, suddenly you notice that like a girl in the same part of the room has looked over towards you like 3 times. You're probably going to train maybe a little bit harder after that, aren't you? It's kind of nice, isn't it? This all comes down to just breathing right. And so breathing right will not just help you with compliments, but with literally the rest of the world. And what you need to do is breathe fully. You can have a look at chapter 47. Let's see if I've got it right. Is it 47 or is it 45? It is 45. Yeah, 45. That's kind of close. Chapter 45 of our book, The Way of the Superior Man. Breathe down the front. All men tend to have blocks in the front of their body, along an imaginary line that runs from the top of their head, through the tongue, throat, heart, solar plexus, navel, genitals, down to the perineum. The principal bodily key to mastering the world and women is maintaining a full and open front of the body at all times. The best method is through full and relaxed breathing, drawing energy down the front and freeing attention from neurotic self-concern. This is the most important book that I read every single day. This is the book that has changed my life the most. In this book, he's saying the principal bodily key to mastering the world and women is to maintain a full and open front of the body. Most men will close up the front of their body because of poor habits, neurotic self-concern. Because when you think about it, when you're overthinking about yourself, anxious, you're thinking kind of negative thoughts, naturally your body language will kind of respond to that. And suddenly you will be that guy who's kind of using his phone like this and the front of your body's kind of caved inwards. If you think to remind yourself of what we've just learned, open up the front of your body like this, and now you walk around. It's like, I don't look weird, right? Maybe with the bathrobe, but like, I don't look like I'm like forcing my like weird posture or anything. I just look like a guy with decent posture. This is a quick tip that just before you're about to go and compliment a woman, you should do every single time. So imagine in this realistic scenario, even if it's online or it's in person and there's a woman you want to go and speak to, literally just think to yourself, okay, Hamza said, the deep breathing thing. Take a full deep breath to the point that it's loud, like this. And really what you want to do is use the air and kind of force it into the lower part of your stomach and let your stomach kind of bloat out. It's okay. Remember like how a king would breathe. He wouldn't care that his stomach bulges a little bit. You need to have that same thing. You shouldn't be walking around tightening up your abs thinking that anyone can see that and someone will respect you more because you've got a six-pack or anything. Let your stomach fucking bulge out when you breathe. Breathe forcefully. Just one of those before you go and do anything important will significantly help you. Now, this is a book on spirituality, masculinity, and everything. But if you want a bit less of like a woo-woo type of practice, Dr. Andrew Huberman has been talking about this practice with a slight change that you can use, which is called the cyclic sigh. And it's very similar to this, but there's just one difference, which is that when you're at the end of the inhale, you stop there for a second and you inhale a bit more. So this is exactly what it looks like. You do a full deep breath, and when you get to the point where you're pretty much full, you kind of stop for a split second and do another, the double inhale after that. So it's double inhale and then exhale. That's been seen, literally just one of those has been seen to significantly reduce stress and help people get into the present moment, actually even more than meditation. When there's something that has been proven to be more effective than meditation, you should probably take it seriously. So I know that this is kind of a weird part of this video when you just wanted to learn how to compliment a woman. This is the weird stuff that will actually help you more. I could have spent 20 minutes in this video giving you like, like a ChatGPT 20 examples of compliments you could have given a woman and go, yeah, go on, go ahead. You didn't need that. The way for you to like compliment a woman is for you to genuinely think to yourself the thing you want to say to her that like actually means you appreciate her. You know, it's you like being authentic with what you appreciate with her. Me being sat here and telling you examples of things you can say is gonna actually harm you more because you're not being authentic with the thing that you actually appreciate about her, the thing that you respect or like about her. But I can give you more like the strategy that will simply just make you better at complimenting women as a whole, instead of giving you the specific words to say. And, you know, I'm equipping you more as like a man instead of like a fucking dumbass, right? So this is the principal key for you to take away from this video, is to breathe fully before you're about to compliment a woman, before you're about to approach a woman. Breathe fully whilst you're having sex. Breathe fully 24/7. You will be, honestly, twice as strong. I guarantee it. Not even like in a woo-woo sense. I guarantee if you start to breathe more fully through the day, I promise you this, and you can report back, I promise you, if you start to really remind yourself, write pieces of paper, remind yourself, have like your phone wall screen literally just saying breathe fully, I guarantee you'll hit more PRs in the next week than you have over the last few months. Guarantee it. You think this is some woo-woo practice? Go and try it. You think, you know, if you're a guy who's having sex right now, I guarantee if you start to breathe fully right here, right now, even outside of sex, guarantee you will last for as long as you want. This sounds like it's a magical practice. It's just breathing properly, bro. It's like the standards aren't that high. Literally just breathe, and you'll actually be better in the world. You're here, shallow breath, crooked neck from like the poor posture, wondering like why you feel so weak and so timid in the world, and your body language is like this. Fucking open it up. Breathe fully. I'm making you this promise that you can come back in the next week. You will hit more PRs than you've ever done before. Now, obviously, if you're on a fucking huge calorie deficit, okay, fair enough. But like, I'm expecting things to stay consistent. If you're a guy who's actively fucking right now, if you breathe deeply through the day, I guarantee you will last for as long as you want. It's nice stuff, bro. And so when there's a girl that you want to go and compliment, just one deep breath before you, let's say, okay, I'm in the gym, there's a girl there that I want to speak to. Now go. That's it. And even whilst you speak to her, even whilst you do everything in life, you can still breathe deeply. Obviously, like when you're next to someone, you don't have to like, you know, be loud or anything, but you can still be breathing deeply. One extra tip I'll give you is that when you really are conscious of your stomach, when you breathe deeply, you'll just get into the habit of feeling that you're always kind of tightening your stomach manually. You don't even realize. When you breathe deeply, it's almost like you have to cue yourself to let go of your stomach, and then you'll feel like, oh wow, now my stomach is actually kind of relaxed. Like my stomach is actually tense right now. I'm becoming more and more aware of it. You probably don't know, like you're probably not that aware of how tense your body is. These things make a bigger difference than you'll ever realize. A bit of tense, like a muscular tenseness in your body, a bit of a shallow breath will genuinely, you know, the trajectory of your life will genuinely be significantly different than if you literally just breathe fully. I know that this seems like a weird thing for me to mention in this video. I wouldn't have spent so long on this if this wasn't so important. If this is one of the first times you're hearing this and you're quite inspired by this, it would serve you well to absolutely obsess over this, to get pieces of paper and write breathe fully, breathe into your stomach, breathe into your balls, and stick it up on your wall, to change your phone wallpaper, to read chapter 45 of this book. You can probably go find it online for free, like the PDFs and stuff, and to literally just breathe fully for as many breaths as possible for the rest of your life. I promise that this is one of the best tips I could genuinely ever give you, and you know that this is authentic because I'm not charging you for this. I'm not selling you a program on like how to breathe fully. You can just do it right now. Now, let's talk about the bit